Good evening. Today we are discussing refractories. So refractories are ceramic materials that can withstand high temperature as well as abrasive and corrosive resistance. Corrosive actions of molten metals, slags, gases without suffering a deformation in shape. So the main objective of refractory is to confine heat. To confine heat in the sense it can withstand high temperatures as well as resistance to abrasion and corrosion. So refractories are ceramic materials that can withstand high temperatures as well as abrasion and corrosion. What are the important properties or good characteristics of a refractory? Refractory material, a good refractory should be excellent heat, corrosion and abrasion resistance. It's the main criteria. Should have excellent heat, corrosion and abrasion resistance. It should possess low thermal coefficient of expansion and should expand, contract uniformly with increase and decrease of temperatures respectively. It should possess low thermal coefficient of expansion. It means thermal coefficient of expansion means it may expand and contract uniformly entire refractory material with increase and decrease of temperatures. Hence, a good refractory should having low thermal coefficient of expansion. Should possess high fusion temperature. Suppose if any material, if we are using the refractory, it possesses high fusion temperature. It may not melt even at high temperature also. It may not fuse even at high temperature also. It should be infusible at operating temperatures. It should be able to withstand the overlying load of structure at operating temperature. It should withstand the structure. Whatever structure it is possess, should withstand at operating temperatures. Should be chemically inert towards corrosion action of molten metal, gases and slags produced in its immediate contact with furnaces. Whatever material it is contacted with furnace, most probably refractories are used for furnace. Whatever the material it is contact with the furnace, it should having the chemically inert towards corrosive action. Should not crack at operating temperatures. It should not crack at operating temperatures. These are the important characteristics of a good refractory. Good refractory. Next, properties of refractory. So before going to that, what kind of refractories? Classification of refractories. So on the basis of chemical properties, refractories are broadly divided, broadly classified into acidic refractories, basic refractories, neutral refractories. Acidic refractories which consist of acidic material are known as acidic refractories. So these consist of acidic materials. They are easily attacked by basic materials and not by acidic materials. Example, alumina, silica and fire clay refractories. So these are easily attacked by basic materials, but they never attacked by acidic material because it consists of acidic materials. So wherever we have to prepare acidic materials, wherever we are using the acidic materials, At that time we are using these kind of refractories. Next, basic refractories. Refractories which consist of a basic material are known as a basic refractory. These are easily attacked by acidic materials. Example, magnesite and dolomite. Magnesite and dolomite. Neutral refractories. Refractories which consist of weak, acidic or basic materials. These are weak acidic or basic materials known as neutral refractories. Example, zirconia, graphite, chromite and carborundum. Examples for acidic refractories is alumina and silica. These never react with acidic materials but easily attacked by basic materials. Examples for basic refractories is magnesite and dolomite. Neutral refractories is zirconia, graphite, chromite and carborundum. Carborundum is the one of the most important refractory material. It having high resistance, abrasive resistance. Next, properties of refractories. So refractories are broadly classified into acidic refractories, basic refractories and neutral refractories. Examples for acidic refractory is the alumina, silica. Then basic refractories, magnesite, dolomite. Neutral refractories, zirconia, graphite, chromite, carborundum, etc. While we are going to the properties of refractories, refractoriness. Refractoriness is the ability of material to withstand heat without appreciable deformation. This is the ability of a material to withstand heat without appreciable deformation. Deformation means without disturbance, without changing its structure. It's commonly measured as the softening or melting temperatures of the material. The softening temperature of refractory materials are determined by using pyrometric cone test or Sager cone test. Pyrometric cone test or Sager cone test. It will shown in the figure. So refractoriness of any kind of material, refractory material can be measured or determined by using pyrometric cone test or Sager cone test. It should having a softening temperature much higher than the operating temperatures of the furnace in which it is used to be. Wherever we are using the refractory material, it should having the softening temperature much higher than the operating temperature of the furniture. If suppose operating temperature of the furniture is 700 or 800 degrees centigrade, if it having the softening temperature 600 degrees centigrade, so it may not work out. That's why any refractory material should have a softening temperature much higher than the operating temperature of the furnace. So refractoriness is the ability of material to withstand heat without appreciable deformation. Without appreciable deformation. So it is determined by the comparing the behavior of heat and the cone of the material to be tested with that of a series of Sager cones of standard dimensions. These are the Sager cones. Sager cones. Refractoriness is expressed in terms of pyrometric cone equivalence. Cones are 38 mm height, 19 mm long sides with triangular base like this. With triangular base, pyramid, and at different temperatures they can melt or fuse. At which temperature they can melt, according to that we can explain, we can determine the refractoriness. The temperature at the apex touching the base is indication of fusion or softening of the test cone. Suppose actually it is like this. If this apex is touching the base, this is the base, like your base. This joint apex is touching the base. That temperature is the fusion temperature of that refractory or softening temperature of that refractory. The number of the standard cones fusion along with the test cone is the pyrometric cone equivalent of the particular refractory. If the test cone fuses later than one standard cone and earlier than the next cone, the PCE is the average value of the two. Suppose if we are taking 2 or 3 anything, what is happening? The test cone fuses later. Test cone means whatever we are using the material, which material we are testing. Test cone fuses later than one standard cone and earlier than the next cone. If we are taking 2 standard cones, it fuses later than one standard cone and then earlier than one standard cone. We are taking the average of pyrometric cone equivalent of both the cones. That is the so like this we are determine the refractoriness of the refractory. Refractoriness of the refractory may be determined by the Sagar cone test or pyrometric cone equivalent test. Next one is the porosity of the refractory. Porosity is the property of a solid which contains openings or spaces or minute channels. It can be expressed. Porosity is equal to weight of the saturated specimen minus weight of the dry specimen by weight of the saturated specimen minus weight of the saturated specimen submerged in water. Weight of the saturated specimen submerged in water into 100. Porosity is equal to, porosity of the any refractory is equal to weight of the saturated specimen minus weight of the dry specimen by weight of the saturated specimen minus weight of the saturated specimen submerged in water into 100. Like this we are measuring the porosity of the particular refractory. So all of you know porosity means having small holes, small openings, small channels, minute channels. If refractory has pores, the entry of gases, slags, etc. is easy and can react up to a greater depth. These can reduce the life of the refractory material. Hence, it can affect many important properties of the refractory, such as decreasing the strength, resistance to corrosion, resistance to abrasion, but increase the resistance to thermal spalling. Hence, a good refractory should have low porosity. What will happen if any refractory having the porosity more porous? It is more porous. The entry of gases, slags, etc. is easily and can react up to a greater depth. It can reduce the life of refractory material. Consequently, it affects many important properties like refractory properties like strength, resistance to corrosion, resistance to abrasion. Hence, a good refractory should have low porosity. Strength of refractoriness under load. Next property is the strength of refractoriness under load. The refractory material mud possesses high mechanical strength even at operating temperature to bear the maximum possible load without breaking. Refractory material should having the high mechanical strength at operating temperature also. without breaking, without deviation, anything. Next one is the dimension stability. Is the resistance of a material to any volume changes which may occur on its exposure to high temperature over prolonged time. It may reversible or irreversible. It may reversible or irreversible. So that is the dimensional stability. It is the resistance of material to any volume changes which may occur on its exposure to high temperature or prolonged heating, which having higher dimension stability. Chemically inertness. A refractory does not easily form fusible product with gases as slags, etc. Hence should be highly chemically inert. It should be highly chemically inert. Thermal expansion. A refractory material should have the least possible thermal expansion due to the following reasons. Because by it having the least possible thermal expansion, if it having the thermal expansion, expansion of refractory decreases the capacity of the furnace. Capacity of the furnace. Repeated expansion and contraction contribute much towards rapid breakdown and wear and tear of the material structure. So, it is a possibility to break down the furnace or wear and tear of the furnace. That's why a refractory material should have least possible thermal expansion. Least possible thermal expansion. Thermal conductivity. Depending upon the type of furnace, refractory materials of high and low thermal conductivity are required. So it depends upon our functioning of the furnace, at what temperature it is required, we have to maintain that temperature, that conductivity. In most cases, the furnace is lined with refractories of low heat conductivities to reduce heat losses externally by radiation. If suppose furnace is not coated, not lined with refractories, what happens? Thermal radiation will be external radiation. Heat will be lost by to the atmosphere. Otherwise, maintenance of high temperature inside the furnace will be difficult. So, without lining with high refractory materials with low heat conductivities of the furnace, we may not maintain the temperature of the furnace of that particular temperature. In muffled furnace, walls and coke oven batteries, a good heat conductivity of refractory is desirable for effective heat transmission. So, thermal conductivity, we have to maintain thermal conductivity, depends upon the situation. Depends upon the situation of the furnace. What kind of temperature we have to maintain, what is the things are going on that furnace, we have to maintain accordingly. Thermal spalling. The breaking, cracking, peeling or fracturing of refractory brick or block under high temperature is known as thermal spalling. Very, very important. Thermal spalling is breaking or cracking or peeling or fracturing of a refractory brick or block under high temperature is known as thermal spalling. Thermal spalling may be due to the following: a rapid change in temperature, a slag penetration into the refractory brick, etc. But we can decrease the thermal spalling by taking proper precautions, using of high porosity, low coefficient of expansion and good thermal conductivity refractory bricks, avoiding sudden temperature changes, sudden jerks, by over firing the refractoriness, by modifying the furnace design, etc. So thermal spalling is the breaking, cracking, peeling or fracturing of a refractory brick or black under high temperature. Heat capacity. Refractory heat capacity depends on thermal conductivity, specific heat and specific gravity of the refractory. Heat capacity of the refractory depends on the thermal conductivity of the refractory, specific heat and specific gravity of the refractory. Next, resistance to abrasion or corrosion. Resistance to abrasion or corrosion. Refractory is desirable that lead abraded by descending hot charge, flue gases, escaping at high speed particles of carbon or grit, etc. Electrical conductivity. Refractory, especially used for lining electric furnaces, should have low electrical conductivity except graphite. All refractories are poor conductors. Except graphite, all refractories are poor conductors. Permeability. Permeability means the rate of diffusion of gases, liquids and molten solids through a refractory is known as permeability. The rate of a diffusion of gases, liquids and molten solids through a refractory is known as permeability. It mainly depends on the size and number of connected pores. It mainly depends on the size and number of connected pores of the refractory. Permeability increases with temperature. It increases with the temperature. What is meant by permeability? Rate of diffusion of gases. So, temperature increases, diffusion of the gases also increases. Next property is the texture. Due to large porosity, pores are light textured bricks are less in weight, hence they are more resistant to sudden temperature. So, with this, these are the important properties of refractories. So, a good refractory should have these properties: refractoriness, porosity, less porosity, refractoriness of the refractory material will be determined by sugar content, strength or refractoriness under load, dimension stability, chemical inertness, thermal expansion, thermal conductivity, thermal spalling, heat capacity, resistance to abrasion or corrosion, electrical conductivity, permeability, texture. Applications of refractories. Applications of refractories. Major applications of refractories are used as a furnaces, used in the preparation of furnaces, like electric furnaces or muffled furnace, open hearth furnaces, hot mixture linings, copper converters, reverberatory furnaces for smelting antimony, copper, lead, etc. Ores, refining furnaces and hot zones of cement rotary kilns majorly used like this. Refractory materials are used like this. With this, what is refractory? What are the characteristics of a good refractory? Properties and applications of refractory is over.